What's up, guys? And how is everybody doing out there? We are down here, the world famous Cloud 9 in General Luna. We have a brownout today. So I told my wife, I said, let's just come down to the beach. It's a nice breeze down here. We can get in the water and cool off. So that's where we're at today. I'm sitting in the shade. I'm not cooking myself in the sun. I don't need to burn my head, right? Today's video, I fell in love with the wrong bar girl. Let me begin by saying, it's not, you always hear horror stories. I met this bar girl in this, and I met this bar girl. Not all the girls working in the bars in the entertainment district are out to scam you, out to take advantage of you, out to get the money out of your wallet, right? There's a lot that come from the province for whatever reason. Poverty, they have a child they got to feed. They've got family that needs help. They have to put up what they have to put up with to be able to support their families. There are guys that were stationed in the Air Force, in Subic Bay, in the Navy, in the Marines, that met their wives while they were stationed there. They fell in love, they got married, they came to the States, they worked, they had children, they had homes. They lived the American dream, and now they're retired, and they're retiring back to the Philippines. They've been together for years, they're happily married. Like I said, you hear the horror stories, and that's what I'm going to share with you. A couple stories that I heard while living up in Angeles City. I was up there for almost 8 years, over 8 years, met a lot of expats, met a lot of people. And the stories you hear. The first story I'm going to share with you, I met this expat kind of right when we first moved to Angeles City. Got married to a bar girl, met her in a bar, fell madly in love with her, madly in love. Took her here, took her there, proposed to her. And she said to him flat out, I don't love you. I really don't love you. But he was persistent. I will marry you. I will take care of you. She had a daughter from a Filipino. A lot of times Filipinos, they are still stuck on that first love. That first love that gave them a child. They can't get over it. For some reason, though, they're not together. Maybe the Filipino don't want to work, you know what I mean? And she don't want to put up with the deadbeat dad. But, they met, and he said, I don't care. I'll take care of you. I want to marry you. Okay. She said, okay. It was a marriage of, I guess, convenience for her. And this guy truly does, and probably still to this day, love his Filipino wife. I remember when he was getting ready to go back to the UK, and he was like tore up. He was like crying. He's like, I don't want to leave my family. I love them so much. Matter of fact, they even had a daughter together. And he didn't want to go back, but he had to go back to tie up loose ends so he could return and buy her a house, buy her property. The same day he got on the plane is the same day that the cousin showed up. The cousin. We would sit there and talk, me, him, my wife, his wife, and she'd always be on her phone. Like she wouldn't interact with anybody, not even my wife. If the phone rang, she would get up and walk away, walk out of the room, walk away from the area we were all sitting and talking, because my wife could hear what she was saying. My wife overheard her a couple times, like flirting, literally flirting with somebody. The cousin. Guys, if you have a wife or a girlfriend and they're really close to a cousin, be cautious. Be cautious. But yeah, the guy really loved her. But it was crazy. The day he left, he showed up and never left until like the day before he came back. You'd see him out walking around, flirting, arm in arm. Wow. Wow, right? And I think the guy knew what was going on. Just he didn't want to admit it, or he was just in love, or maybe he knew it and he was like, I don't care, I love her, I'm here to take care of her. Well, they have since moved. From last time I heard, they bought a house. They even had another child. Now, what that child looks like, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, it was crazy. He even went as far as getting a sari-sari store for her down in Manila. She convinced him that she can make more money down in Manila running a sari-sari store, right? And he would tell me stories. Oh my God, the sari-sari store got robbed and this. Well, the girl had a cousin that she didn't like. The girl who this guy was married to had a cousin that seen all what was going on, disagreed with what was going on, how she was cheating on her husband and all this. And she would tell my wife these things, you know what I mean? It's like, no, they didn't get robbed. The cousin showed up with all his friends, drank all the Red Horse, ate all the snacks, smoked all the cigarettes, and then she turned around and claimed the place got robbed. And I kept telling the guy, why don't you put a CCTV camera in your store? He was never allowed there. He was never allowed to go to the store. It's like, why don't you put a camera in there? Oh, no, I trust her. Whatever. I think you fell in love with the wrong bar girl. Excuse me. Second story was a bar girl. 10, 15 years ago, she was a good-looking girl. A top girl, a top earner at one of the popular bars in Angeles City. She could demand a price. She could demand the clients. She could pretty much set whatever she wanted. Remember, guys, just because you have money, these girls don't need to go out with you. You know what I'm saying? Well, she fell in love with a foreigner with a lot of money. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, they're looking to get out of the bar scene. All right. He would take her on trips, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Korea, all over. Had a condo. I think he still has a condo. And he would buy her everything. Bags, clothes, this, that. Every day she was posting on her Facebook page, my new clothes, posing. She was all about being into herself. Look how pretty I am. Look how sexy I am. Well, sometimes time catches up with you. You know what I mean? She was the kind of girl that no matter where she was at, she had to be the center and the attention of the party. She used to go to Scorebirds when Scorebirds had their pool party prior to COVID, when Scorebirds pool party was fun. I don't care what anybody tells you about Scorebirds pool parties. I don't even think they're doing them anymore. After COVID, they sucked. They sucked. How do I know? I've been to the ones pre-COVID. Anyways, she was the life of the party. She was getting the top model. She knew how to entertain the guys. She knew how to put on a show. And even after COVID, I went to a pool party and she was there. You noticed her. However, other girls younger were prettier. But she could entertain the crowd. She would come down. She'd sit on guys' laps. She would grind on the guys. The guys would grab her. She would grab the guys. And what would be an inappropriate way. But then again, what is an inappropriate way in Sin City, right? And then when she got mad, these girls are all ugly. But my point being is, would you let your girlfriend do that? You know what I mean? You don't need it for the money, but you need it for attention. So if you're getting with a girl, bar girl, whatever, sometimes they feel they have to be the center of attention in everything. and they'll stop at nothing. I don't know. To me, you fell in love with the wrong bar girl, but to each their own. Now, the next one's a little weird, a little strange, a little different than others. Guys like me, my wife has a YouTube channel. You got Paul Old Dog New Tricks, his little girl, Baby May. She has a channel. I got a sneeze coming on. Hang on a second. Oh, falling apart at the beach. You know, she still coming. I got another one. They come in pairs. She's out there. She's got a channel. She's wiggling her butt around. She's in sexy clothes. She brings her little friends on the show with sexy clothes. Guys see that. Guys get in contact with her. You had Gio and his girl. There are multiple people out there. But you got to understand something, too. Guys will always try to hit on these girls. Guys will always try to send messages on the side to the girls. Facebook, Messenger, all that. Luke gets them. I get them. Little show them to me. We sit there and laugh. You know what I mean? Look at this guy. You know, your husband's no good. You can do better. Try me. I can give you more money. I can do this. I can do that. We laugh. We laugh. Some people ignore it. I can tell you every week I get multiple requests. I don't even entertain them. But some girls will. They'll entertain it. They'll add them onto Facebook, you know. Can I send you $20? Can I send you $50? Can I send you $100? You know, they're desperate for money. I have people that Lud has people that will send her some money once a month. But it's not like they're trying to get with her. It's like, hey, use this money for Hannah Grace, for her tuition, for her books. Use this money for Christmas. Use this money to get your nieces and nephews a nice gift for their birthday. You know what I'm saying? They're not there to try to overtake, I guess you could say. But yeah, this story's a little different. These two people were vloggers, still are vloggers, all right? They met. She was a bar girl, all right? I don't know what the situation was, what they agreed on. First of all, be upfront with the girl. Say, hey, listen, I don't want kids. I don't want to move to a province. I'm not going to take care of your family. I'm not going to take care of kids. Be upfront. But sometimes these girls think they can change your mind, right? They think they can change your mind. So they got together, you know, and you know, they were vlogging. She opened up her channel. I helped get her driver's license. She even wrecked his car he had to pay for. Got her a passport. Got all this stuff, you know, and showed her a decent life outside the bar. However, biggest mistake was allowing her to continue to work in the bar industry. Big mistake. These girls don't want to work. They don't want to continue doing it. Now, she didn't work back in a club where she bar fine, but she worked in the entertainment district. You got to understand something, guys. There are guys here in the Philippines and up in the entertainment district. They think every girl wants them. Teeth missing, balding, bad body odor, bad breath, beer breath, teeth missing, bloated, overweight, haven't changed their clothes in days. But boy, every girl wants them. You know what I mean? But then you have to deal with that. This girl had to deal with these guys, you know, constantly hitting on her in an environment where guys think they can get every girl. That gets old. However, hey, if I'm not happy in my relationship, what can you offer me? Let me put that on the back burner. Let me put that on the back burner. Some of these girls, when they get with guys, they've been on social media platforms on multiple different names. They've been on dating sites. They don't deactivate their dating sites. They'll keep checking their dating sites. What other options are out there? What other options are out there? All right. So I guess evidently things didn't work out for whatever reason, But I watched the little interview. They did like a little interview together, hey, we're no longer together. The guy was heartbroken. You can see it, like he put everything he probably had into this relationship. Girl was ice cold. I mean, ice was even colder than how she was acting, all right? And I know she used to tell my wife things, and my wife would tell me, and I'd be like, what? Why are they even together? She's saying this. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to go up and tell the guy, hey, listen, your girl said this to my wife. Because what's going to happen? Confront the girl, oh, I never said that. I never said that. Well, I believe my wife. You know what I mean? Been together 12 years. I believe her. So it didn't work out. Whatever. They went about their way. Then I got an email from somebody just the other day. Hey, you know her? She's engaged. Like, what? Engaged? She's only been out of a serious relationship of 2.5 years for about a month, and she's engaged. Hang on a second. I got to change my battery. All right, guys, I got to finish this up on the GoPro. My battery went dead on my Sony ZV-1. So anyways, like I was saying, her profile read that she was engaged. I went over onto his profile because his profile was there also. And yes, they are engaged according to them. Now, what was going on? Doesn't take a rocket scientist to kind of figure out. Either she knew him prior to her relationship and kept him on the back burner, or met him during her relationship, or whatever. But to be engaged a month after being out of a serious relationship, just saying, something doesn't seem right. And here's another thing. It's like, I'm a numbers guy. I like to look at people's numbers, their YouTube numbers, their channel, how many views they get, how much interaction they get. You know what I'm saying? So I looked, and it's like, holy shit, she had 15,000 views on one live stream, 30,000 views on another live stream. Wait, she don't have that many subscribers. Throw in TikTok, still don't have that many subscribers that reach 30,000. Throw in the Facebook following. All the numbers don't add up to even have 50,000 people to watch your channel live show and have 50,000 or have 30,000 views. Somebody's scamming numbers, I think. Just saying. But yeah, crazy. So guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I didn't use no secret decoding thing on the internet to find that information. It's out there in black and white on people's profile, open to the public to look at. But anyways, guys, you know what? And here's what I find. I find a lot of times in a relationship, when one person checks out, that's it. They're done. The relationship's over. The relationship is over when one person checks out. All right. But I also found out too, when one person cheats, goes behind another person's back in a relationship, the other person that puts their heart and soul into that relationship will be rewarded eventually in life with a good girl. The girl, and even a guy, that doesn't do that, sneaks behind a person's back, cheats on a person, they're always going to be a sneak, and they're always going to be a rotten person, and their life is going to be miserable their whole life. I've seen it. One person succeeds, the other person will continue to fail. So anyways, guys, that's my story about falling in love with the wrong bar girl. Like I said, the stories that bring the drama get the most views. The stories that are good don't get much views. So anyways, guys, with that being said, I'm going to relax here. enjoy my day, and we'll talk to you later.